What if I told you that Amish gardens remain productive for 100 plus years in same location, while modern gardens deplete soil in just 5 to 10 years? That simple crop rotation prevents nutrient depletion forever without synthetic fertilizers? Today, I'll show you the complete rotation system creating permanent soil fertility. The 4 YEA rotation rule. Never plant same plant family in same spot for minimum 4 years, preventing nutrient depletion and disease buildup. Year 1 plants heavy feeders including tomatoes, squash, and corn, consuming maximum nutrients. Year 2 grows light feeders including roots and alliums using minimal nutrients. Year 3 establishes legumes including beans and peas, replenishing nitrogen naturally. Year 4 incorporates soil builders including cover crops or leafy greens, resting and rebuilding fertility. Then cycle repeats indefinitely. This prevents single-crop nutrient mining, allowing soil recovery between demanding crops. Disease and pest cycles break completely with 4-year absence from host plants. Result shows soil improving yearly instead of depleting, creating permanent increasing fertility over decades. Plant family groupings. Nightshade family includes tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, and potatoes, sharing diseases and pests. Cucurbit family contains squash, cucumbers, melons, and pumpkins with similar requirements. Brassica family groups, cabbage, broccoli, kale, radishes, and turnips together. Legume family encompasses beans, peas, clover, and vetch, all fixing nitrogen. Allium family includes onions, garlic, leeks, and shallots. Umbellifer family contains carrots, parsnips, celery, and parsley. Each family shares specific pests, diseases, and nutrient demands, making them interchangeable in rotation. Never follow any family member with another from same family, preventing disease and pest accumulation. Result creates disease prevention through proper family separation over years. Heavy feeders, VS, light feeders, consume massive nutrients including tomatoes, corn, squash, cabbage, and peppers requiring rich fertile soil. Plant heavy feeders first in rotation when soil richest from previous amendments or rest period. Light feeders use minimal nutrients, including carrots, beets, onions, garlic, and turnips, thriving in average soil. Plant light feeders after heavy feeders, allowing soil partial recovery period without complete nutrient replacement. This alternating pattern prevents complete soil nutrient exhaustion. Heavy feeders extract maximum fertility while light feeders allow rebuilding. Result creates balanced nutrient extraction over time, preventing depletion while maintaining continuous production without fertilizer dependency. Nitrogen FISO replenishers. Legumes add nitrogen through root nodules, hosting beneficial bacteria, converting atmospheric nitrogen to plant-available form. Beans, peas, clover, and vetch all fix nitrogen, adding 100 to 200 pounds per acre annually. Plant legumes after nutrient-depleting crops, replenishing soil naturally. Leave roots in ground when harvesting, as decomposing roots feed following crops. This provides free fertilizer from natural biological processes. Legume year in rotation replaces nitrogen removed by heavy feeders preceding year. No purchased fertilizer needed when legumes integrated properly. Result shows self-replenishing fertility cycle, creating sustainable permanent soil enrichment through natural nitrogen fixation processes, working indefinitely. Root depth rotation. Shallow-rooted crops, including lettuce and onions, explore only 6 to 12 inches, accessing surface nutrients. Medium-rooted crops, including beans and tomatoes, penetrate 18 to 36 inches deeper. Deep-rooted crops, including carrots and parsnips, dive 36 to 48 plus inches, reaching subsoil. Rotating root depths accesses different soil layers, preventing single-zone depletion. Deep roots break hardpan layers, improving drainage dramatically. Varied root systems create channels, improving water and air infiltration throughout soil profile. Different roots leave different organic matter at various depths. Result: improve soil structure with each rotation, creating increasingly friable, workable, productive soil, supporting higher yields yearly through improved physical characteristics. The classic Amish system. Complete 4-year cycle divides garden into 4 equal sections, rotating crops through predictable pattern. Year 1 section plants heavy feeders, including tomatoes, peppers, squash, cucumbers, and corn. Add compost 4 to 6 inches deep before planting, as these crops need highest fertility. These produce bulk of family calories through intensive production. Harvest and clear completely by fall, preparing for next rotation year. Year 2, same physical bed grows light feeders, including carrots, beets, turnips, onions, and garlic. No additional fertilizer needed as crops use residual nutrients from previous year, allows soil partial recovery while still producing food. Root crops break up soil structure, improving tilth naturally. Year 3 establishes legumes, including bush beans, pole beans, and peas. Nitrogen fixation replenishes soil from previous 2 years' extraction. Light feeding but heavy production provides protein. Leave roots in soil when harvesting, as decomposing roots feed next crop naturally. Year 4 incorporates cover crops and soil builders. Winter rye, clover, and vetch mix grows fall through spring. Alternatively, plant leafy greens including lettuce, kale, and spinach, then follow with cover crop. Biomass turned under before next planting, or greens harvested then cover crop planted. Soil rests and rebuilds completely. Mapping system draws garden into 4 equal sections labeled A, B, C, and D. Assign each section to rotation year. Next year, everything shifts one section, with A becoming year 2, B becoming year 3, continuing rotation. Simple notebook records what grew where each year. Photos help remember layouts for reference. Why 4 years specifically shows most diseases survive maximum. 3 years, 4-year gap prevents reinfection completely. Nutrient cycling completes in 4 years. Manageable for record keeping without complexity. Works perfectly with 4 equal garden sections, creating simple system. The 7 YEA are disease prevention rotation. 7-year rotation necessary for disease-prone families and intensive production situations. Use when previous disease problems documented or growing organically without chemical options. Small gardens with limited space benefit from extended rotation, preventing disease buildup. Year-by-year breakdown plants heavy-feeding nightshades, including tomatoes and peppers first year. Year 2 grows heavy-feeding cucurbits, including squash and cucumbers. Year 3 establishes heavy-feeding brassicas, including cabbage and broccoli. Year 4 plants light-feeding roots, including carrots and beets. Year 5 grows light-feeding alliums, including onions and garlic. Year 6 establishes nitrogen-fixing legumes, including beans and peas. Year 7 plants cover crops, allowing complete soil rest. Family-specific disease prevention addresses nightshade verticillium, wilt, and fusarium, surviving 5 to 7 years. Brassica clubroot survives 7 to 20 years, requiring maximum separation. Cucurbit bacterial wilt and fusarium need extended gaps. Each family requires maximum time separation, preventing reinfection. Space requirements divide garden into 7 sections or use 7 separate beds. Requires more planning and record keeping than 4-year system. Best for larger gardens exceeding 500 square feet. Smaller gardens simplify by combining years 1 through 3 as heavy feeders, different families, and years 4 through 5 as light feeders, creating 4 rotation groups with extended internal gaps. Cover crop selection for year 7 includes winter rye, providing massive biomass and weed suppression. Hairy vetch fixes nitrogen. Crimson clover adds nitrogen plus beauty. Buckwheat grows fast as summer cover. Combinations work better than single species, providing multiple benefits. Long-term soil improvement shows year 7 producing best soil in rotation. Year 1 uses this premium soil, maximizing production. Continuous improvement cycle over 20 to 30 years creates extraordinary fertility. Amish generational rotation continues. Systems grandparents started with parents continuing, and grandchildren now farming same beds. 50-plus years creates disease-free, extraordinarily fertile soil. The nitrogen cycle. Understanding nitrogen flow shows heavy feeders removing 150 to 200 pounds nitrogen per acre. Legumes add 100 to 200 pounds nitrogen per acre through fixation. Light feeders remove only 50 to 100 pounds nitrogen per acre. Net balance over complete rotation remains neutral to positive, creating self-sustaining fertility. 3-year nitrogen-focused rotation plants heavy feeders with compost addition. First-year tomatoes, corn, and squash demand high nitrogen. Add compost or manure supplying initial nitrogen. Extract maximum nitrogen from soil during productive year. Year 2 establishes legumes as main crops, replenishing nitrogen. Beans and peas fix atmospheric nitrogen through root nodules. Leave roots decomposing in soil after harvest. plant captures 60 to 80% of fixed nitrogen. Remaining 20 to 40% enriches soil for following crops. Year 3 grows light feeders conserving nitrogen. Roots and alliums use minimal nitrogen allowing accumulation in soil. Build surplus for next year 1 heavy feeders creating positive cycle. Legume management for maximum nitrogen inoculates seeds if soil lacks proper bacteria. Don't over-fertilize as excess nitrogen reduces fixing. Let some plants flower and die back naturally. Incorporate residues after harvest, adding organic matter. Never till out roots, but leave decomposing in soil releasing nitrogen slowly. Cover crop legumes boost system when red clover planted after year 3 harvest. Grows fall, winter, and early spring. Tilled under before year 1 planting, adding extra 100 plus pounds nitrogen per acre. Double nitrogen contribution from both main crop legumes and cover crop legumes. Calculating nitrogen balance shows year 1 removing 150 pounds from heavy feeders. Compost addition provides 50 pounds. Year 2 legumes add 120 pounds. Year 3 light feeders remove 60 pounds. Net totals positive 10 pounds nitrogen per 3-year cycle. Soil improves slightly each rotation, compounding over decades. Eliminating fertilizer purchases results as system provides own nitrogen needs, only compost needed from free or cheap sources. No synthetic nitrogen required, saving $50 to $100 annually. Decades of savings compound to thousands of dollars. The perennial integration stem. Permanent perennial beds separate from annual rotation include asparagus bed producing 20 plus years. Rhubarb section lasts 15 plus years. Strawberry patch rotates internally every 3 to 5 years. Herb perennials including thyme, oregano, and sage remain permanent. Never include perennials in annual rotation systems. Why perennials need permanent placement shows root systems developing over multiple years. Disturbance reduces production dramatically. Some take 2 to 3 years establishing before production begins. Moving them wastes establishment time completely. Dedicated beds allow proper specialized care. Perennial bed soil management uses annual compost top dressing maintaining fertility. No tillage preserves established root systems. Heavy mulch applied year-round conserves moisture. Sheet composting in place adds nutrients. Decomposition provides continuous fertility without disturbance. Integrating perennials with rotation beds locates perennials on north garden side, prevents shading annual beds from tall perennial growth. Clear edge definition separates systems. Asparagus ferns grow 4 to 6 feet tall, requiring northern placement. Strawberries work as bed edges bordering paths. Strawberry mini rotation plants new bed first year. Years 2 through 3 show peak production. Year 4 production declines significantly. Fall year 4 dig and move to new location. Rotate strawberries to new spot every 3 to 4 years. Old strawberry bed returns to annual crop rotation refreshed. Annual crop perennials include Egyptian walking onions spreading and producing permanently. Multiplier onions return yearly. Sorrel produces 20 plus years. Lovage functions as permanent herb. Good King Henry provides perennial greens. These integrate into dedicated perennial areas. Fenceline perennials maximize space with raspberries along fences. Asparagus serves as garden border. Herbs plant at garden edges maximizes space efficiency using non-productive areas. Clear separation from annual crops prevents confusion. The cover crop rotation. Cover crops plant between food crops, ensuring never bare soil at any time. Spring food crop followed by summer cover crop. Soil always building, never depleting through continuous coverage. Winter cover crop timing plants August through September immediately after harvest. Grows through fall, winter, and early spring. Till under late April through early May. Plant summer crops immediately after incorporation. Provides 8 to 9 months continuous soil coverage and building. Summer cover crop timing plants May through June in early harvest beds. Buckwheat matures rapidly in 45 to 60 days. Till under before flowering begins. Plant fall crops including lettuce and kale immediately. Short cycle fits perfectly between spring and fall crops. Cover crop rotation pattern uses winter rye year 1 providing carbon-heavy biomass. Hairy vetch year 2 adds nitrogen-heavy organic matter. Clover mix year 3 contributes nitrogen plus pollinator nectar. Buckwheat year 4 scavenges phosphorus from soil. Rotate cover crops like food crops, providing different benefits each year. Biomass contribution shows winter rye producing 5,000 to 8,000 pounds per acre. Hairy vetch adds 3,000 to 5,000 pounds per acre. Crimson clover contributes 2,000 to 4,000 pounds per acre. All becomes soil organic matter, adds 1 to 2% organic matter yearly, compounding dramatically. Weed suppression value comes from dense cover shading soil with 90+% coverage. Outcompetes weeds naturally without chemicals. Some covers have allelopathic properties inhibiting weed germination. Weed seed bank depletes over years. Years 5 to 10 achieve nearly weed-free gardens. Multi-species cover crop mixes combine winter rye 40% with vetch 30% and clover 30%. Provides carbon plus nitrogen plus diversity. Different root depths access various soil layers. Multiple simultaneous soil benefits, better results than single species covers. Living mulch permanent covers plant white Dutch clover between crop rows. Mow regularly, preventing competition with main crops. Fixes nitrogen continuously throughout season. Permanent soil coverage without replanting. Never bare soil after establishment, creating ultimate soil protection. Crop rotation keeps soil fertile forever through proven multi-generational Amish practice. 4-year minimum rotation prevents most nutrient depletion and disease problems. 7-year rotation eliminates disease completely in intensive production. Plant family knowledge proves essential for proper rotation planning. Heavy light legume cover pattern creates optimal nutrient cycling. Nitrogen cycle becomes self-sustaining through legume integration. Perennials require separate permanent beds outside rotation system. Cover crops between food crops ensure never bare soil. Continuous soil coverage builds fertility rather than depleting. Record keeping remains essential for rotation success over decades. System improves soil yearly instead of depleting, creating compounding benefits. 100-plus-year-old Amish gardens remain productive, proving system works. Modern agricultural chemistry proves unnecessary with proper rotation. Start with simple 4-year rotation this season. Add complexity as understanding grows over years. Generational thinking required for maximum benefits. Short-term planning sacrifices create long-term abundance. Begin planning rotation this winter. Implement next growing season. Permanent soil fertility becomes achievable reality through disciplined crop rotation practiced consistently over time.